Yo, what up, people? What up? What up? I wanna, as usual, do one of my quick drive-by streams. Well, it could pretty much turn into whatever, man. I'm taking a break from work, and I wanted to address something that I saw on Twitter, and it's something that I want to share with y'all and get y'all opinion, right? Hold on, let me just bring some stuff up. Justin Trouble, what up? Lisa Bales, peace and power. All right. Sorry about that. What up, UGC? What up, man? Black, you gotta jump on with me, man. Long time we ain't chop it up, bro. You busy, Black? Or whoever else wants to jump on, man. Yo, hold on. Let me fix my goddamn headphones. This is ridiculous, bro. Mic check, check one. Mic check. I'm spending 3 minutes goddamn testing. I hate this Bluetooth shit, bro. Um, check one. Oh, whatever. Black Horseman Productions. What up, man?
What's happening, Icon? What's going on, King?
Hey, easy, man. Hey, man, I just wanted to quickly address something that I saw on Twitter. I'm glad you're here. Glad a couple of y'all in the chat. Whoever else can catch it then and play back because I'm only on break. But I want you to hear something. You remember this clip? Hold on. Let me share the screen. You seeing this, Black?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Remember this?
I would never let a white boy be me. I would never let a white boy be me.
You remember this clip, right?
Yeah.
Let a white boy be me.
Okay. You know where I'm going with this?
Mm-hmm.
So Devin Haney was on with 78 Sports and these people. And
Forward.
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I really wonder, like I really wonder, like, if these people understand the position that they have or what they're trying to do in sports, when you're an athlete, you have to be very careful of the things you say, right? Because you want a fan base to support you, and your fan base is going to include a lot of different people. You can feel however the fuck you feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you're gonna have to sometimes watch what you say because
Mm-hmm.
these clips don't go away. So here we have
Mm-hmm.
Devin Haney on with 78 Sports. Let me make sure I got it. Let me pull it up for you, Mr. Black Horseman. I don't know.
Shout
I'm
out to
not
the
hearing it.
chat, man. Y'all hit the like button, man.
I'm not hearing it on my side, but you're gonna hear it, Black. So don't worry. Don't even worry about me. This Bluetooth ain't shit. So let me put it up quick for you, Black. So here we go. Are you seeing the clip? You're seeing it,
Yeah.
right? All right, here we go.
Devin and Bill Haney says, I hope you'll end the hype of Loma so I can rip. he said, I hope you want to rip Black Fight Fan TV all day long. He said, keep grinding, Devin. Greatness is coming. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you this. I will never lose to a white boy in my life.
Oh shit.
Hey, listen, can't no white boy beat me on any day of the week.
Hey, fuck that shit, Dad.
Fight a white boy 10 times, I'm gonna beat him 10 times.
Oh no.
Like Jesus, it's easy work. You understand? Anthony Griffin in the super chat. Much love, family. Salute to
I can't hear it, so tell me when he's
you. And
past.
we
I
got the
can't hear
brother.
All right, yeah, you good. I heard enough, fam. Jeez.
What's your
Damn,
comment,
boy.
bro? What's your comment?
You know what, man? It's funny because I just talked about this guy, or I made a statement about this guy, Devin Haney, sometime last week. And like, I don't know what's going on with him, but I feel like Devin Haney won't go as far as somebody like a Shakur Stevenson for this particular reason right here. Not from what he just stated, but for this particular reason that he cares more about attention and fame to me more than actual legacy, and just really just dedicating himself. I know he's a great fighter and all that stuff, but it seems like he does this clout chasing thing. He wants to criticize Tiafimo. He likes to criticize Lomachenko, and he'll talk down to other people. But this is a guy who got gifted a belt. He didn't fight for it. I heard something about him possibly being reinstated as the champion again, but I'm not sure how accurate that is. And for him to make an ignorant statement like that, and then to make that statement on a platform that he made it on, it's just like, man, dudes ain't learned yet. They still pushing this race shit, and just because and him making them statements right there, like you said, they can make these statements, but these videos don't go away. It's on record. B Hop made the statement. He never let a white boy beat him. He got his ass whooped, and people can always go back to the video and roast his ass for that. Here, Devin Haney he's saying he never let a white boy beat him. Now we don't know what white boy might emerge up the rankings next year, year after that. Who knows? It might be just somebody who's more of a matrix style than Lomachenko, and might be coming for Devin Haney. And if you lose, then what? You know what I mean? Like you can't, and it's just crazy, man. Like, a lot of these guys is doing this for their own particular motive and agenda. But now that he's feeding into that now and trying to, push this racial thing, like, I never let a white boy beat me. Look, man, just say that, I'm too skilled to lose to anybody out there, whether it's white, black, Mexican. But to single it out and say I would never let a white boy beat me, man, like that's a big mistake, man. That's just ignorance to me.
When I saw the video, I was like, I mean, okay, bro, you can feel however you feel. You know what I'm saying? You can feel however you feel. But I want you to understand, he's not going to see this video now. And I mean, this is not a big channel. But he was on a channel that has a lot of followers. You could feel however you want to feel about 78 Sports. He has a good amount of followers, right? And Devin Haney is one of the people. Hold on. So anyway, Devin Haney is one of the people who they apparently rock with, right?
Mm.
No, Devin Haney could feel however he feels about not letting a white boy beat me. I will never lose to a white boy. Never. That's cool, bro. Understand though, when you make these public statements, when he himself said he went over to the UK, and the UK is mostly white people, and he got most of his followers from the UK, which would be a lot of white people, right? When you're an athlete, right, you could have your own personal feelings about certain things. You could have your own personal feelings about certain things. What up, El Jefe? But when you make these statements, let me ask you, Black, in the chat, how much do you have to care about public sentiment towards you? How much do you have to care? How much should you care?
I mean, damn, dog. Like, he should care more. I mean, the mere fact that you just brought up that point, man, that's great that you brought that up because, right, we don't even know, or he don't even know how many white supporters he has. And when that statement gets out, being that, you know, you said 78 got a big platform, a big following. Anytime they say something on that side, man, it goes, you know, they magnify it. You know, people who going speak on what's going on that side. And so it's going to get out. How many white supporters is he going to lose because of this, you know, this stupid statement? You know, that's offensive to his to the white folks. If you saying something like that, like what? Ain't no nobody skilled enough or strong enough to beat you just because you black. You know what I mean? To me, it's retarded for him to even make that statement, you know. And we had a legend come out and say that, and he still got beat by a white boy. So if if the legendary B Hop got beat by a white boy, chances are if you fight long enough, you might get beat by a white boy eventually too. You know, and B Hop is a legend, man. He's a great fighter. So
that's right.
Even the greatest, man, have tasted defeat from white boys here and there.
What up, El Jefe? What up, man?
What's going on, Iron Kong? What up, Black Horseman Promotions? What's going on?
Hey, El Jefe, I'm a casual. So who's that in your icon? Who's that?
That's Emmanuel Navarrete, the 122-pound champion, man.
Okay, I got you.
He's a dude that beat Dogbo. I don't know if you remember that fight.
I know Dogbo. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember that fight. Okay, that's one of your favorite fighters?
Yeah, I like his fighting style. You know, it was just a new picture, so I was just like, fuck it, man, let me put it on.
Okay.
Yeah, he thought that was new and shit.
I'm not gonna be on El Jefe, but
I didn't hear what Black Horseman said. What did he say?
He got different energy today. Go ahead, bro. It's your time.
What's going on?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm just chilling, man.
Well, I'm sensing the nigga. He in his feelings. Calm.
Okay. El Jefe, you and Black debate that another time. Yeah.
Oh, it ain't never no debate.
I ain't trying to debate Black Horseman. Black Horseman solid. It's just, you know, they've been
he got issues with certain people in the UGC. It's all good, but hey, man, it's your time. What's your statements on this, man?
Yo, Smoke, if you want to get on, man. You know, I'd like to hear your comments on this, brother Smoke.
Well, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I just jumped in.
Hey, let me Smoke. That's 2 white boys he lost to. Ain't that something? 2 white boys he lost to.
Who said he would never lose to a white boy? I just heard that.
Hold on. Let me get it back for you.
I know B Hop said it, but who else?
Okay.
Oh.
Get this Smoke. How you doing, man? Good afternoon, sir.
Not too bad. Thanks for inviting me. What's up to everyone else on the paddle?
Yeah.
And so I just came over from another stream. So I heard you guys saying that Devin Haney said he wouldn't be beat by a white guy.
Yeah, let me play the clip for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
If y'all can, yeah, hold on, El Jefe. So can y'all see what I'm looking at?
Yeah, that's the 78 Sports interview.
Correct. Okay.
Yesterday. Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Tell me when he's past it because I can't hear it myself. I don't know what's up with my headphones.
Hey, we can't hear it, Uncle. No volume.
All right, hold on. Let me try again. Share audio. Entire screen.
Mahogany Nation Sports Podcast. Right. Chat salute. We said salute to 78. Devin and Bill Haney.
Yeah, we hear it.
All right.
You're in the height of Loma. so I can rip. he said, oh, he want to rip like Fight Fan TV all day long. He said, keep grinding, Devin. Greatness is coming. Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll tell you this. I will never lose to a white boy in my life. I don't care what nobody got to say. Listen, can't no white boy beat me on any day of the week.
Hey, talk that shit, Dan.
Fight a white boy 10 times, I'm gonna beat him 10 times.
Yeah, because you like Jesus. It's easy work.
You passed it?
You understand? Anthony Griffin in the super chat. Much love, family. Salute.
Yeah, what they call him?
Then we got the
yeah, he's past it. He's past it. Yeah,
brother.
They call him Black
Jesus.
Yeah, they call him Black Jesus. I don't know what that means. Go ahead,
So Black Fight Fan is a fan of Lomachenko, right?
Yeah,
and he calls Lomachenko White Jesus,
okay.
right? And so when the perception came that Lomachenko was ducking Devin Haney, they started calling Devin Haney Black Jesus as a joke, to way to troll Black Fight Fan.
Okay, so what do you make of his comments, Smoke?
Yeah, he's not the first guy to say it. I don't know how, what I think I go along with what you're saying. It's not the best media savvy kind of thing to say. You could feel that way. Yeah, it's sort of, you're limiting your appeal to everybody. That's about it. I agree that that is not what you want to have come out your mouth. But if that's what you feel and you're willing to take the consequences for it, then whatever.
That's all I'm saying. El Jefe?
Mistake, man.
I think it's just more added pressure to himself, bro. I don't really take nothing from it. I think it's just trash talking. But I think it's just more pressure on himself, because if he does get to lose to, like B-Hop did, people are just going to clown him for years.
I'll just add something to piggyback of what El Jefe just said. Whenever my wife sees B-Hop, she laughs at him for getting knocked out the ring. Like, she doesn't even know about what B-Hop had to say or the level, like where he was in his career, none of that. She just sees the dudes and starts chuckling. So
he's like putting pressure on himself, so like saying that type of stuff. So
I mean, he got a white promoter. I mean, Iron Cone brought the fact that, he got probably some UK followers who are white. I just don't think it's a smart thing to say, man, when you're trying to, expand your brand and appeal to more people,
Devin, go ahead.
There was I don't know if you guys remember MTV putting on celebrity fights, but Sticky Fingers, who was part of Onyx, he went up against the guy who is in a rock group. I can't remember the name of the rock group, but he said something similar. He's like, I'm not gonna let no white boy beat me. If I lose, I gotta leave the state. Yeah, he got his ass whooped in front of everybody by some nondescript rocker guy. And for real, I saw the dude in Oakland for like a month after that. He's from New York.
Oh. He moved to Cali. Oh, nah. See? You don't put that kind of pressure on yourself, man. Now you gotta leave.
I understand, listen, you could feel however you want to feel. That's up to you. But when you're an athlete, Smoke and El Jefe, let me just ask, because I asked Black, how much do you have to care as an athlete about the things you say and your appeal to a fan base as an athlete? How much do you have to care?
I would say not. Well, it depends on every guy's situation isn't the same. The issue that Devin Haney has is that he's also trying to be he's also a promoter, right? So controversy could sell, right? As a fighter, you want to bring as much, I guess you try to widen your appeal to as many people as you can, but without being inauthentic, without being fake about it. Right. So if that's what he actually feels and he expresses it, sure, that may turn some people off, but other people may appreciate at least that's where he's coming from and want to ride this journey with him, and maybe he'll become more mature later.
But you know what? The thing that stands out to me is that he made these statements, and the time that he made the statement was on a platform that's really super pro-black. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, but they are, not only are they super pro-black, but they have their own particular brand of how to be pro-black.
Right.
Okay. So the whole point is, it wasn't like he was on doing a DAZN or IFL TV interview or some shit. and said, "I'll never let a white boy beat me." You waited till you got to a super pro black channel, you know, where a bunch of just black people just pro black this, pro black that, and then you make those statements because you know that that's going to, you know, appeal to that demographic. So,
yeah, but there was also a context to it. They were talking about Loma and the whole white Jesus, black Jesus thing. But the thing is, he went farther than than what they were talking about. He went actually to another place that wasn't even part of the good natured ribbon that was going back and forth. Right.
Exactly,
so now he has to now live with those statements. The thing is, he's young enough that you can brush a lot of this aside and just go along with the journey with him and go, okay, you know, he's going to mature. But at some point, he's going to have to be like, I think some point in his career, those words he's going to have to put up or shut up.
Devin Haney,
I think Devin Haney's doing just a whole bunch of extra, in my opinion, bro. From chasing
like how you
these
say,
dudes
Hefe, I think
down
he doing some cloud chasing sometimes too.
From even dating that hood rat chick. What's her name?
Oh my God!
Yeah, I know you're talking about
hood rat chick. What?
Yeah, so
China, Black China.
I think
Black
he's
China.
rushing himself.
Who's that Black China?
But
he should let his fist.
But some of those are like PR relationships. Some of these
that's what I'm saying.
PR relationships, they're not actually in relationships. The PR team set them up.
But
I don't know
the point is, get this smoke. The point is, this guy does a lot of different things just to get attention on himself, and a lot of the attention that he gets ain't good attention. Like, why you want to get attention for dating Black China, bro? Really? Why you want to get attention for saying that you never let a white boy beat you? Like, for real, bro? This is what you doing?
Like, let your boxing skills, if you're good enough, you'll reach that level where fans are gonna ride with you.
Hey,
he got to come out now. Oh, go ahead, Cole.
Yo, man, John Cable, man. My condolences to you and your whole family, bro. I don't know you, of course, but I'm sorry to see this news, man. I'm really sorry about that, man. Just, my condolences.
Yeah, man. Right back at you. I lost my sister-in-law during this whole lockdown thing, and it's been like out of the blue. Younger than me, just dropped dead one day. Actually, not dropped dead, but lost all of her motor function. They had her on a machine, and then for like 6 days, and then she passed while on the machine.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, Smoke, man. Damn, sorry, man. Sorry.
Yo, it's crazy, man. I don't know how you guys, because I don't follow a whole bunch of channels on YouTube, but that shit hasn't been published like on Boxing Scene or nothing. It's just on that video. That's how you guys found it.
I found it.
It just happened yesterday. It just happened yesterday. Yeah, this interview was yesterday.
Okay, I haven't heard of it till now.
So I mean, now it's gonna take off. Like,
right. So
he might as well come out and start saying, your people too struggle for 400 years and all that. You might as well. That's a Deontay Wilder blueprint you want to take. You know what that leads to.
Yeah, there's a new generation, right? And they're all trying to figure out the new medium and how to do. But for me, I think celebrity, the value of celebrity has gone through the roof, and I think it's overvalued. And a lot of kids want to be famous, right? They don't even care about even being rich necessarily. Everybody wants to be famous. So maybe he's trying to manage that whole idea about what it means to be famous, what he has to do to get famous. But yeah, he's a boxer. If he just sticks to his guns, it'll come there for him because he has the skills in order to have the rich and the riches and fame laid there at his feet. He don't have to do the extra shit.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, like, Devin Haney, what I would say to him is, man, don't allow, because as Smoke said, they didn't ask you nothing about losing to a white boy. They talk about beating Lomachenko. Right? Lomachenko is a person. He's white, yes. But they're not here telling you, man, you need to beat up all these. They didn't tell you none of that. As Smoke said, you chose to take it into an area that nobody asks you about. Right? Nobody asks B-Hop, and nobody asks you.
That's
you chose to say that. You understand? So what I'm saying to Devin Haney is be more tempered in the things you say. I understand that you might want to impress certain people or whatever, or whoever you want to impress, if anybody at all. But be more tempered in the things you say. I understand you're a young man, but youth only gets excused so much in this world. People expect athletes, which is unfair, completely unfair, to be more mature than their years sometimes. So you have too much examples out there. You have too much examples of people saying dumb shit than have to pay for them later. I want to warn you, don't allow anybody to turn you into a caricature of what they want you to be. You know what I'm saying? This, listen, when I heard the comments, I was just like, bro, what are you talking about, man? Because he has what, 2 white boys that he might have to fight. He might have to fight Luke Campbell, and he might have to fight Lomachenko. Those are good fighters. Luke Campbell ain't, the world class well. He's good. But any one of those fights, you can lose. You can lose any one of them fights.
Right.
At the end of the day, as an athlete, in my opinion, as an athlete, especially trying to build your fan base, and he said his fan base jumped higher when he hooked up with Eddie, went to the UK to do his little tour. His fan base went higher. And the majority of people in the UK are white people. But they love boxing. You have white fans here too. All I'm saying is, bro, be very tempered in the things you say. Think first. That's it.
Yeah, the other part of it is just playing the heel. Like the whole idea about having your public image being different than your private character. We saw how it came to a head with AJ and his fan base, right? It was just this whole idea about, is he really this nice a guy, or is he just putting on a face for his corporate sponsors? And there's a dance to be done. There's a tightrope to walk here, right? So he's a young guy. I will say that guys who are into their identity as being like Black Americans or descendant from slave, like that whole American identity about, we're not going to be physically dominated by white people. Like that might be a cultural thing that some people in America would, gravitate more to than, it may turn off people worldwide while you garner your respect in a smaller group. But if that's the group that you feel like represents you, then I think that's what's happening, is that he's talking to his own cultural brothers and sisters kind of thing about their cultural feeling, right? But what sort of appeal that has outside of his culture, we'll see. I think he's going to catch a lot of hell, but playing the heel actually is very lucrative in boxing too.
This is
because
go ahead, Frank.
No, I was gonna say because it's a race-driven sport, so I could somewhat agree with.
I think boxing, from looking into America, well, of course, I have to look into American boxing. Boxing in America is, as far as I can remember it, traffics heavily on race, because even Floyd Mayweather, he made his career out of fighting Mexicans.
But you know what I add to that, Ancon, but not in the UK as much as in America though.
No, not really. No.
That's the thing about it. Like Devin Haney is bringing that mentality and thinking that applies to every other, country or something. Like you said, UK, they just love boxing. So they love AJ, they love Dylan White, they love whoever it is that's representing them. You know what I mean? And because some people look at it for, you fight for the country, and then other people looking at it on a smaller level. Oh, you fight for the Black, or you fight for Mexican, or you fight for this. That's small time shit, man. You know what I mean? And he put himself in that category now. So it's like, I don't think he's gonna get out of that, bro. Go ahead. You fight for the Black now. You ain't fighting for America. You ain't fighting for nothing else other than Black.
What does this do? Like Smoke and El Jefe and Black, of course. But let me start with Smoke first. What does this do if you're promoting Devin Haney? Does this make your job more difficult?
No, I don't think so at all. I think that, controversy still sells, regardless of how you feel about what the person being controversial. It still brings butts and seats. Like I said, Floyd, there's a certain point when you, like, I actually think that Devin Haney is looking for the controversy at this point versus just letting the controversy comes. I think he's trying to gen up interest in him and his career, right? And he's using controversy to do it, but not necessarily to the point where he is being inauthentic. I don't think he's being disingenuous with what he's saying. He's just, he may be limiting his appeal, or like he may be garnering negative interest, right? And that might not bother him.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree, but every cause has an effect. Just look at how I don't really like to bring Deontay Water, but Deontay Water, bro, just like how they've been trolling them, like UK people, non-boxing people. So every 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 cause has an effect. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's
listen,
extra pressure on him.
to this day is what went around. Everybody knows what to this day was. That thing went viral, and Floyd, Devin Haney came from the Floyd camp. Like he was trained by the dad, and Floyd is a master at playing the bad guy.
So, do you think Devin Haney then is
Floyd didn't
trying
do
to?
that until he got to the top.
No,
Right.
no. It started when he had to, when he just wasn't going to be as well liked as the other guy. It was started with Gotti. Like everybody loved Gotti, so he just embraced the role that there was no way that he was going to be the good guy in that fight.
Was that
so he
on
just
pay-per-view?
went all villain. Yeah, it was his first pay-per-view.
Okay, that's a top. That's a big stage. Devin Haney ain't no goddamn big stage like that.
Yeah, I mean, I got it, but now he's just learning the lessons of the guy that came before him, and the lessons that it seems like he's learned is being the bad guy can generate a bunch of money.
Okay,
yeah, but being a bad guy and then playing to a racial. But go ahead, Uncle.
No, go ahead. Finish up. No problem. Man. Go ahead.
Like that, to me, that's two different things. It's one thing to play the villain role and whoop-de-whoop and maybe troll your opponent and get underneath their skin, things like that. But we've seen, every time, majority of the time, somebody from the culture tries to bring that idea that, I will never let a white boy beat me and bring that racial energy into the shit. They end up getting their ass whooped. B-Hop got knocked out the ring. Deontay Wilder got syrup knocked out his ear. And we've seen this shit before. We've seen this shit before.
Yeah, the issue. Well, they're not the same. They're not the same circumstances. B-Hop was at the end of his career, but Wilder got paid handsomely for all that, right? So that's the issue. Is does his to this day comments and your people comments, does that actually generate more interest in these fights?
Right. So if it's gonna generate you more money, get you more attention for you to get your ass whooped at the top, then okay, get humiliated then.
Smoke. If I understand, you're saying Devin Haney might be trying to culture a heel role. Then he might be trying to create for himself a heel persona.
Yeah, I think he's leaning into controversy. He's going to let himself, let his whatever it is he's involved in, like being involved with Black China at the point that he was involved with Black China. That was the height of controversy. That was when she was doing that whole, Rob Kardashian, baby mama split with thing, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it seems like just like being on the undercard of YouTube boxers. Like what it seems like he's trying to do is build his brand up and get more interest in who he is, kind of thing. And I think that him being a culture warrior, for lack of a better term, right now, is comfortable to him and authentic to him. And so he's just trying to not necessarily step out of his comfort zone. Meanwhile, not trying to pull any punches because it garners interest, right?
I just feel like. Oh, go ahead, Uncle.
No, I wasn't gonna say anything.
I mean, it's almost like, well, when all else fails, pull the race card out. You know what I mean? Deal with the race shit. If you can't naturally just be a self promoter, like I ain't never seen AB get out here and do no shit like that. All the silly shit he say and do. I ain't never heard him say nothing like that, and he can fucking still get people to buy in to his fights and shit.
Yeah, but AB also traffics off of buffoonery.
Yeah, right. he just does negative stereotypes. He just ruins negative stereotypes. And,
I think Errol Spence is a perfect example of how he came up. He had the whole state behind him, the whole city. Whether you're white, black, Mexican, people came out to support Errol Spence to his fights.
And the thing about Spence is he don't even need to do all the stuff that he doing, man. He got people that love him and support him. Devin Haney's situation different. Like, I don't really see him getting that full support from Cali like that. I mean, I don't know where he trying to. It just seems like he just trying to get, do whatever he can possibly
Vegas,
do.
Ain't he?
No, he's from Oakland.
He's from Cali, bro. But he ain't even really. So you would never know because he, he fights. Well, he prefers to fight wherever he want to fight. You know, Vegas.
It's because he came out of the Mayweather gym and he was living in Vegas, so everyone knows him from the Mayweather gym. If you've been following him since the beginning, and that the Mayweather name is going to overshadow everything. Like it's not like he's Oakland and in line with Andre Ward, right?
Well, he does mention a lot, like things that, because I remember I think it was in his little 10-minute interview with Eddie Hearn on his Instagram thing where he said Floyd told him that he's gonna finish his career at 160, and he said something about Floyd told him this, and I was like, but he's obviously extremely close with Floyd Mayweather or something. So what up, Black Gone? Anyway, yeah, so he's extremely close with Floyd Mayweather, but I just worry that, okay, if you feel that way, as I was saying, you feel that way. Let that be you, but you don't have to stick with that, right? I don't like when you do these things just to build a persona. If you feel that way, you feel that way, right? Because when you speak these things, there's an added weight to it. There's a certain level of history that comes along with that, because now you're playing with situations that is very real for some people, right? But don't use those things to culture a persona. I don't necessarily like, because it's like with WWF used to traffic on a lot of black-white thing.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that he's a young dude feeling himself, and like he's using the language of the culture that people have used in the past, and he's gonna be held to account just like other people. And like some people will be like, for us, we reference the fact that B-Hop said that, right? But for other people, they just reference the ass whooping, and it doesn't matter what you said. And the reason why they even know him, and even why some people even saw the fight, was maybe because of some controversial comments.
LFA, anything else, man?
Nah, I ain't got much to say, man. It's just, I think even with the whole Mexican style, people use that to profit off. Just probably they didn't know Spanish, they weren't from Mexico, but they wanted to profit off the Mexican thing. And even you got some Mexican Americans where they could be like second, third, fourth generation, and they still want to profit off, Mexico, because it brings money. It's just a profit, to sell, I guess.
Okay. You see, these things are, it's weird that I saw this actually yesterday, and I put it up this morning because I actually did my African ancestry DNA test, paternal, and I got the results back today. And I usually talk a lot about these things because I teach history classes, and I always tell my students, or the people who I'm helping out, when you start talking about these issues, give it the proper respect and reverence it deserves. Don't use it to be a buffoon. Don't use it for any nonsense. It carries a lot of years of history behind it. So I got back my results this morning. It was very interesting. But again, it just sort of all came back to this whole thing with Devin Haney. When he said so, I just was like, if I could tell him, I'll just tell him. If you feel that way, you feel that way. Just don't be a bullshit artist about it. That's it. That's all I would say to him. Just be careful though. All right, because there's a lot that comes with that. Go ahead, Smoke. Sorry.
No. I'm vaguely interested. I'm not trying to, get all in your personal business, but I'm interested in how your thing turned out because of just like who was considered black at particular points in time. And, like some people think that some people who grew up thinking that they were black got a DNA test and found out they had no African blood in them at all. So, and that just goes to like who actually were slaves and what was considered black at a particular moment in time. But
I have no problem sharing. No problem. If y'all are done on this topic, I can share it with y'all. No problem.
So just lastly on that topic, but like before you share, is there's a thing about what the black experience in America has been, and also what the black experience in America has been, and also what the black American experience in boxing has been, right? And I think he's trafficking in a couple of different, like really old kind of ideas, and to garner his public interest, to garner public interest in him and his fights.
Okay, and you said something interesting though. You said people do it for like Mexican stuff. So are there people who like, okay, tell me if I'm using a good example. Andrew Ruiz before the Joshua fight was Mexican. After the Joshua fight is American. Is that what you mean? Because it's like Andrew Ruiz sometimes kind of goes back and forth. Like he traffics in Mexico, then in America when he wants to, or whatever.
Yeah. Because when he won, he was 100% Mexican, but when he lost, he wasn't Mexican. So sometimes the people use the fighters, and sometimes the fighters use the people. So I think that's how it works. The dynamics is kind of weird, but
That's
at the end of the
interesting.
day, it's all about money, man. That's what it's all about.
That's interesting. You said sometimes the people use the fighters use the people, and sometimes the people use the fighters.
Yeah.
Uh, that's a very I like that. I like that. Anywho, if there's nothing else y'all want to add on that, I don't mind sharing my results. I actually did a small video with it this morning
What
explaining.
website did you use, bro?
I started this some years ago. I did ancestry.com. No, ancestry.com only does admixture, which is it just you send some spit in and they search it for all your maternal, paternal lineages. So they just give you a whole admixture and break down your percentages based on location currently today. So I'll show y'all that first before I get off. Listen, got my brother Smoke here. Got me showing all my stuff.
I need to get my shit done too, man. That
Yeah,
DNA shit.
because I have questions after you show the thing. I just have
No problem. No problem. I'll send it in. No problem. Let me see. Let me share my screen now. Let me get off this Devin Haney stuff. Share screen. Okay. You seeing this? Are y'all seeing this?
Yeah,
No?
we see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it.
So this is ancestry, right? So ancestry breaks down your whole admixture, your maternal, paternal, everything, and breaks it down within percentages. Now this has gone through a couple of updates, but it always ends back up about the same percentages, just different locations. So right now, ancestry, the updated thing is 42% Nigeria, 18% Benin, Togo, 10% England, Wales, Northwest Europe, 10% Mali, 8% Ireland, Scotland, 8% Congo, Cameroon, Southern Bantu peoples, 2% Ghana, 1% Germanic Europe, and Spain. So that's what, like 80% or something like that, African or whatever it is.
Yeah, 80 and 20 basically.
80 and 20, but so it's always around that for me, right? 80% African, 20% European. I did this years ago. Right. The only thing that changes in ancestry is sometimes they update it, and sometimes the regions change in Africa. It never changes in Europe. It just changes in Africa, like where the percentages comes from mostly. Right. But that's ancestry.com. So what this doesn't give you is the people you're descended from in those regions. It just says
there it is. Yeah.
Right. It just says
that's
this
what I'm
is
looking.
Right. This is just your general percentage breakdown, right?
Yeah, like my just looking through this, my question is, how do you tell the difference between Ghana and Nigeria?
Well, again, they only do current countries. So if you say Nigeria, it's this.
No, I mean,
Right.
I get the geographical boundaries and all, but I'm just talking about I'm just saying like the ethnic bound. Like, how do they know ethnically that you're the difference between someone from Nigeria and somebody from Ghana right next to it?
Well, they don't say they just say, look, from all of our tests and swabs from people in that area, you more resemble
right. So like
people
Central
in this
African,
area.
yeah, it's a
Right.
Central African kind of thing. It doesn't matter about the countries themselves.
It just
sort of
says Central African, right? Broadly, whatever.
Right.
Because anybody who knows history, history, Smoke about Africa, that these are modern nations. These were not back then. They just kind of saying,
yeah, it's not the Igbo. They're not saying the Igbo people.
Right. They're just saying
they say Nigeria.
Currently Nigeria, whatever. Ghana, whatever. So that was then. But my wife gave me a gift last year of the African Ancestry Patri clan, which is paternal lineage.
Mm-hmm.
And I was worried, to be honest, because most men, African Ancestry says most African American men a lot of the times their paternal DNA is broken by a European, right? Whereas a European put himself in between your father or whatever and broke the line or whatever. And your ancestry will be traced back to Europe. So they mostly encourage people, especially, to do your maternal line because that more than likely is not broken. You're not going to come from a white woman. You're going to come from a black woman, right? More than likely. So most people do that. But I didn't know a lot about my father's side, even though I knew my dad, but my dad did not know his father until my dad was like almost 50. He didn't know his father. So I know almost nothing about my grandfather. I met him a few times. My dad, made his transition some years ago, and I really haven't gotten a chance to speak to my grandfather. So I said, you know what? Let me do my father's side. And even though he's from the same country as me, I don't know exactly a lot about his people. So I pretty much figured it was going to be European. So this is my. Let me try and go back. Hold on. Let me pull it back up for you. Be right with you, Smoke. Sorry. All right, here we go again. Share my screen. So this is my African ancestry results, to be quick. So I did this in December. And
1 second. Hey, El Jefe, will you mute your mic? I feel like I hear D. Jefferson like yelling in the background.
Maybe that's me. I don't know. That was me. There's a
Oh, sorry, El Jefe. Go ahead.
There's an interview happening in the background. Some dude screaming. Anyway, so this is my African ancestry, which will now tell me if it's Europe or whatever. And I was surprised, man. Smoke. My father's line goes back to the continent, man. Here it is: the Sogo people and Ateke people of Gabon, and the Mbundu people in Angola.
Oh, they even gave you the tribal. There it is.
Yep. African ancestry specializes in that alone. They have very specific ethnic, samples, and they tell you if it's on the continent. These are your people. This is it. So yeah, man. So it's Gabon and Angola, like 3 peoples there. So that's me from my father's side, paternal side only.
Yeah, nice. I still have a healthy distrust of like corporations and also like the way they use data. So I have been just reluctant to do the whole test. And also, my family keeps fairly accurate records that go back a ways.
Okay.
But I'd be very interested to, now that you've done that, I'm interested in checking out the African ancestry one.
I gotta tell you, Smoke. I mean, for me, I did this because, man, let me tell you something. It's not when you're from a small island. Even though St. Kitts, where I'm from, was the first British settlement in the Caribbean. They came over in 1623. This is just after. Is it Charleston for y'all? Like 1619, I think it is.
Yeah, we had Jamestown that goes back away. We had Charlestown.
When was the early British settlement in America? Was it 1613? When was it?
Let me take a look.
Anyway, so being from here, man, sometimes you don't really know. And we have a lot of people that come here from different countries and that came here after, Africans were brought over, and the African went through I always teach African people over here went through a very specific history. There's no other people that went through the things we went through. Other people came over, of course, but they were not forced migrants. And to make us into slaves, you have to disconnect the person from their lineage. Have to disconnect them. Otherwise, you can't make that person a slave. It's impossible. If you don't disconnect them from their language, their music, their politics, their spirituality, you can't make that person a slave. It's impossible. So for me, it was just important I needed to know. I have kids and I want to tell them, when that's my stuff, Smoke.
Yeah, it's Jamestown in 1607.
1607. So 1623, the British came to this island. And from here, they built out their whole empire in the Caribbean, so Yeah, that's me, Smoke.
Yeah, that's yeah. At some point, I know we're a little bit far field right now from Devin Haney
Yeah.
in his topics, but you know, maybe I'll get the test done and then we can like sort of compare notes.
Man, I love to, man.
Because you know, there's one thing about the family history and you know what everybody says and what everybody agrees is the truth versus you know backing it up with some empirical evidence. This is just that, like I said, like you know, I have companies. I know how Fortune 100s get down, Fortune 500s get down. Like just the veracity of the information when it comes to my identity seems to be like kind of a slippery slope.
Yeah. I agree with that. Of course, I had them sort of doubts too, but there would be no way for me to know anything at all because I think my country has one of the last slave registers left. But of course, you're not going to be able to tell from a slave register who is who. My family never kept that. Like I asked my grandmother, my father's mother. She's like almost 90 something about information, and she, you know, they don't tell you anything. They didn't value their lineage. Like they were just poor people, and
and it's like any other family. Not everybody does. Like you know what I mean. Like just because your grandmother didn't doesn't mean that her brother or sister didn't. Right. So it's just like you have to catch the right family member who cares about the stuff and what
they don't live here.
So, yeah.
They don't live. If you come to this island, people will tell you there are more people of Kittian descent that don't live here. People left in droves. Like my country's population is 50,000 people. This is between two islands. There's more people out that are of descent of these islands that actually live here.
Yeah, it was like that in Belize also. Not that many, like the population, like the number of Belizeans in the world is like over 400,000, but the number of Belizeans actually in Belize is like around 200,000.
Yeah, so
if you can get out, you get out. If you can get out, you do get out because there's no opportunity.
I actually have a presentation for that same class about that, about migrancy and all of that and blah, 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 blah. I'll probably, what I'm doing, I'll probably try and put it up. Maybe you can like my other page, Smoke. It's SKNRBG. Look for that. And you can like that page. So when I'm doing, you can come on and we can
can you put the link backstage? I'll join right now.
Yeah, let me just pull it up for you, bro. El Jefe.
Yeah, bro.
I know I'm boring you, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's interesting. It's an interesting topic.
Yeah, I was sort of going into it with my brother last night because you know I have a brother who's he's been in the Nation of Islam for. And first off, my parents were in the Nation, right? I'm just not, and neither are my parents anymore. But my brother still is, and he raised his family that way. But an interesting note about my brother is his wife was Mexican, and it's his wife that died like a few weeks ago. But anyway, he was just talking about last night about the idea of ownership in America and Black people and who owns and all this stuff, and it got kind of there's a lot about the Black American experience that doesn't take into account Black people's experience with slavery outside of America, and that just sort of happened. Anyway, the conversation gets deep. I like to see what's up with the diaspora and what they've got.
No problem, man. I mean, anytime. When I'm doing the presentation, I'll probably do it tomorrow though. When I'm doing it, well, I'll go live, of course. So if you get on the page and if you like the page, you'll see when I go live, and you can hop on anytime, ask me any questions, man. Because a lot of times, like I've gotten into discussions with Black Americans, and they, of course, there's this ADOS and FBA movement in America now for some people, and they're telling me, "Oh, y'all are from islands." I'm like, bro, are you aware that a lot of people, especially on the East Coast of America, might be descended from Caribbean people? Do you understand that? Like, there were Black Americans that came down to the Caribbean and stayed down here. I mean,
yeah. Once we left the plantation in America, we went all over the place.
You just left.
Searching for identity. Searching for identity, just like we're talking about.
I got to get out of here. Like, I'm not going to stay here. I just left. You know what I'm saying? There are Black Americans that went to Trinidad. There's actual villages in Trinidad named after the Black Americans. People from here went up to the East Coast of America, some in Miami or Florida or whatever.
Yeah, garbage.
Left. I mean, people were like, look, I can't stay here. I got to go somewhere where I can make my life. I can't stay here. So I try to warn people when you have these discussions, you have to be very careful because it's not static. You know what I mean? People, our people moved around a lot. We were trying to find something to do. I just said identity. So be careful. That's all. That's all I'm saying to you. You know what I mean? Because you might go back in your history and find that you have lineage from all sorts of places, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for listening to me and my nonsense today. Thank you, Smoke. Thank you, El Jefe. Peace out, UGC. All the people in the chat, man. I hope I didn't bore y'all with my historical stuff about my people, because I know not everybody in here is black. But I love history. I love everybody's history. Someday El Jefe is gonna have to fill me in on some Mexican stuff. I'm saying. So yeah, man. Y'all have a nice day. Any last things you want to say, Smoke or El Jefe?
Man, just appreciate for having me on, bro. And keep doing your thing, bro. You should
Yeah,
do
man.
a history live stream next time, man. We'll go
Yeah.
deep into this shit, bro.
Yeah, like on your other channel, I'm definitely I'm definitely trying to tune in. I never catch you, either you're on when somebody else is on or whatever, but yeah, I love your boxing thing. I'm definitely interested in like what you have to offer outside of boxing.
No, I'm gonna do more work on that channel because I usually go on other people's stream to present. So I don't have a lot of my own stuff on that channel, but I am going to fill it out more. I'm going to do more discussions. I'm going to do more stuff on that channel. So look, once I'm on Smoke, you can always jump on because I'm interested to hear about the American experience. You know what I'm saying? All right. So that's it for me, everybody. Y'all
That's what's
have a
up.
nice day.
That's
Yeah,
what's
man.
up.
Y'all have a nice
You
day.
got a new sub.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Peace and
Yeah.
power, everybody.